Good morning to all. Myself, Dr. Nagaraju. I am working as an associate professor in Department of IT, MLR Institute of Technology. So, coming to the string concepts, in the last session, we discussed creation of a string object by using string class. Anyway, we know a string object is created by using three different types of classes. What are the three different? Either string class or string buffer class or string builder class. Now, in this session, we will move to creation of a string by using string buffer class. Like string buffer, string builder, all the classes are available under lang package. First of all, what is the difference between creation of a string object from string class and string buffer class? String class, string buffer class. So, the first difference is, the first one is, if you are creating a string object by using string class, the objects are immutable. Immutable in the sense, once we create a string, it is not possible to modify. Once we create a string, it is not possible to modify. And if you are creating the string object by using string buffer, the objects are mutable objects. Fine. Mutable means after creation of string also, it is possible to modify the string. Now, we have four different types of constructors that are available in the string buffer class for creating a string object. First one is the string buffer of. String buffer of without any parameter. Second one, string buffer with one integer parameter. Next one, string buffer with one string as a parameter. Same string buffer with one character sequence. Now I will show you what is the difference among these constructors. What happened? We are creating the string object by using these constructors one by one. First, to move to create a string object by using string buffer without any parameter. So, normal syntax, string buffer, SB is equal to, SB is my string object name. Here you can create S1, S2, S3, string buffer, SB is equal to new string buffer of. Now, a string object is created. What is the value it contains? Here, without any parameter, object is created without any content. And how much amount of memory is allocated for the buffer? You know that one, buffer is the place where we are storing the content. How much amount of memory is allocated? So, by default, if you are not passing anything, a default capacity of 16 characters is allocated. That means initially we can store 16 characters length string. Now, after creating the buffer, we can add the contents into the buffer. How to add the content? We have append method. We know append is the method which is used to add the data at the end. So, here simply you are writing SB dot append of some high. Now, high is added to the existing buffer. High is added to the existing buffer. Now, one question is, sir, here the buffer is created with a capacity of 16. By default, that means I can store a maximum of 16 characters. For example, if you want to store welcome to Java programming, approximately the length is some 30. Assume the length is some 30. But the buffer can store a maximum of 16 characters. Then how it will store? So, by default the capacity is 16. If you are storing a string less than 16, perfectly it will store, no problem. Suppose if your string crosses the capacity, it automatically double the capacity and then add 2. That is initially 16. Next automatically if your string crosses 16 length, the capacity is 16 into 2, 32 plus 2, 34. Suppose if your string crosses 34, 34 into 2, 68, 68 plus 2, 70, like this. Like this, the string go on. Now, we check the capacity. We have one method, capacity of. Based on this one, I will give you one example program. How do you identify the capacity and length, and you will get some idea. Class demo string buffer 1. Within this class, write down public static void main string args. Now, create a string buffer. String buffer some sb is equal to new string buffer of. Now, a string buffer object is created. Immediately, what I am doing? System.out.println system.out.println capacity is, just I am printing one message. How do you get the capacity? On the string buffer object sp dot, the method name is capacity. Initially it displays a capacity of 16. Now system dot out dot println length of the string. Length is, for example, use the message length is, what is the method? You already know, length of. Length of is the method. Okay. Now, after this, here it will display the default capacity of 16 and initially no string is inside the buffer. So, the length is 0. After that, what I am doing? sb dot append of, that is I am appending some string. Assume my string is some welcome. My string is some welcome. After appending, what is the capacity? Again I am printing these two statements. Now what is the output? The capacity is not modified. The capacity is 16 only, but the length of a string is 37. The length of a string is 7. You got it? Now, after that, what I am doing? sb dot append of. Already welcome is there. Now, I given some space to Java programming. Now, my capacity crosses 16. My capacity crosses 16. Now, check what is the capacity. And anyway, length is total length. Welcome to Java programming. That total length is displayed. Close this main method. Close this class. Now you got some idea. Now once I execute, save some folder. Dot Java. Now go to the drive, open the command prompt. Here execute Java C space, Java C, additional bracket is there. What happened? Okay, Java C space demo string buffer1 dot java. Now compile. Java space demo string buffer1. Press enter. So here the class is not available. Check where the file is I am saving. So my file name is demo string buffer1. Demo string buffer1. Here spelling mistake only. Java space demo string B, capital B, buffer1. Now observe, initially the capacity is 16. There is no string, so length is 0. After adding welcome message, welcome length is 7. The capacity is not modified. After adding to Java programming, already welcome is there. Welcome to Java programming. Now the length is 27. So it crosses 16. So the capacity is also increased to 34. Now you got it. This is the way. Now if you want to check, sir, what is the string I printed? If you want to check, system.out.println string is sb.toString. Now save. Again compile the program. See this one. Welcome to Java programming. Like this we are creating the strings by using string buffer object. Here what we discussed, without initial capacity, it will take the default capacity. Now in the second case, instead of default capacity, you can pass your capacity 4. So same, string buffer SB is equal to new string buffer of 4. Here what happened? Similarly, a buffer object is created and the capacity is equal to this one. Whatever the value I passed, with that capacity my string is created. Anyway, if your string crosses 4, next what is the capacity? 4 into 2, 8 plus 2, 10. Next 22, next 46, like that. Now I will show you the same thing with an example. Now observe, instead of this one, here I will write down a capacity of 10. Now execute the program. Observe, initially the capacity is 10. The length is 0. After that, so welcome, there is no problem, it is less than 10, it is less than 10. After that, the capacity is modified. How the capacity is modified, that is important. Initially 16 into 2, 32 plus 2, 34. But here if you are passing the capacity, 10, next time, if it crosses 10 into 2, 20 plus, what is the length of a string that is already existed? 7. So see this one, the capacity is 27. Now got it? Instead of adding plus 2 every time, if you pass your capacity, it will automatically add the existing string length. That is the second approach. Only the difference is in that approaches. Now coming to third one, instead of passing the capacity, here within the buffer, directly I pass the string. See, string buffer SB is equal to new string buffer of program. Automatically a string buffer object is created. Within that buffer, program is added. Now what is the capacity? Capacity is the default capacity plus the length of a string. the length of a string. Suppose the default capacity is 16. Assume the length of string is some 8. 16 plus 8, 24 is the capacity. Now understand all these variations based on capacity. So in the string buffer, buffer means the place where we are storing the item. That buffer size plays very crucial role. Now instead of integer, here I passed some message program. Now observe the capacities. Observe, initially the capacity is 23. Why? Program size is 7. 16 is the default capacity. 16 plus 7, 23. 16 plus 7, 23. So the length is 7. After that I am adding welcome. Even though adding welcome, the capacity not modified. After that, what happened? 23 into 2, 46. 46 plus 2, 48. Like this, my strings are stored. Okay. Finally, the last one, creating the string buffer object by using character sequence. What is mean by this one? Create one string buffer. From that existing buffer, create another string. See this one? Here I create a string SB1 which consists of a string Rasu. Now create SB2. How SB2 is created? By passing SB1 as the parameter, character by character, or J, A, J, U, like this. Simple thing. This scenario is used if we have more than one string buffer object wants to refer the same location. In that we are using. Now what happened? SB1 and SB2 points to the same location. That means object of one data object will points to another one. Interlinking of string buffers. Interlinking of string buffer. Anyway, for this, how much memory is allocated? 16 plus Raju, 4. 16 plus 4, 20 memory is allocated. For this also, the total 20 memory is allocated. Why? For this, actually, no memory is allocated. For the existing one, it points to the memory. These are the different ways. Finally, if you are creating the string object by using string buffer, the objects are mutable. Mutable in the sense it is possible to modify the value after creation. Yes or no? Yes. After creation, I append the string. After appending in the sense, the string is modified. So that is successful. Now, what are the different cases? The different cases are mainly based on the parameters of the string constructor. One case is without any parameter. So it takes the default capacity of 16. One is integer parameter. It takes, this is the capacity of the buffer. Another one is string. In this one, the capacity is 16 plus length of the string. Now the next one is simply string copying purpose. The same says one string object is referred by more than one string. This is the concept of string buffer. Thank you.